Hey family, how's everybody doing? This is Truth Talk with Mr. JR again. We're going to be talking about another interesting, thought-provoking topic. First thing I want to do is go into prayer. Father, I thank you for the opportunity to present some information that will be beneficial, informational, and motivational. Again, Lord, I thank you for this platform. I pray that it be a blessing to someone. This I pray. In Jesus' name. Family, the topic I want to deal with today is something I heard Charles Barkley talk about some years ago. I recently saw the video again yesterday, and I thought it would be good to talk about it. What Charles and another gentleman were discussing was that he did an experiment where he went into predominantly black schools and predominantly white schools and asked the students what they wanted to be. He said most of the white students said they want to become doctors and lawyers, only 10% wanted to play sports. And then he said 80% of the black students want to play sports, but only like 10% want to become doctors and lawyers. But what he did not discuss is why. I want to deal with that today. What Charles did not mention is the reason that many black students, specifically black boys, play sports is because they are encouraged to play sports. And there's nothing wrong with that. I played sports from 5th grade to 12th grade, and I loved every minute of it. And what it did, it taught leadership, discipline, teamwork. And I was able to use that in my career. So there are some good things about sports. Okay? But the thing is, unfortunately, with many of our young men, and even our black parents, we don't teach our young men to not put everything in one basket. And what I mean about that is balance. You can play sports, but you can also be a good student. Okay? And that's something that we need to work on. And I believe it's something that we can do because we have had many of our athletes that have done well in the classroom and well on the basketball floor and the football field. And another thing Charles did not mention was that how can you emulate what you don't see? Let me say it again. How can you emulate what you don't see? Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of doctors and lawyers in our community. Let's be honest. Now, I know a few people that actually went to law school and graduated, and I'm so proud of them. They did it. They proved that it could be done. But I want you to consider something else. How many doctors and lawyers do you see on TV? I'll wait. It's a small percentage. So I want you to think about this. What if we see a lot of African Americans portraying doctors and lawyers on TV? I think it'd have an impact. I remember the show A Different World, and I remember one of the actors saying that college enrollment went up at HBCUs because of A Different World. You know why? Because black students were portrayed on a national television show. And I believe, my brothers and sisters, that if our children see doctors and lawyers on TV on a regular basis, some of them would be inspired to become doctors and lawyers. But let's be honest. Have you been in some of our schools? I'm talking about schools in predominantly black school district in the urban core, and even some of the predominantly black suburban schools. They're not preparing our kids to become doctors and lawyers versus students that attend predominantly white schools. It starts early. You don't get to go to law school and medical school at the last minute. It's a preparation process. Let's be real. If we want to see our young men and women go to law school and medical school, we gotta put some classes in elementary, middle school, and high school to prepare them. And of course, we gotta stop putting a lot of emphasis on sports. We can have balance. And we know a lot of our students have gone to college on athletic scholarship, but the vast majority of them are there on academic scholarships and student loans and grants. Got to be honest. I believe that our children are capable of achieving the goal of going to medical school and law school. But if we don't put an emphasis on academics early, how can they achieve that goal? I believe we can do it. We simply just have to do it. Instead of putting a basketball and football and baseball in the crib, put a book in there. And from day one, encourage our children to do well academically. And fathers, like many of you, I wanted my son to play basketball because I played basketball. I really did. But you know what? Because of what was going on at the time with my job, being distracted, I didn't really push him to play. But I remember one time in our backyard, I was trying to teach him basketball and baseball because I didn't want him to be teased in school. Because I'm sure, fellas, some of you all remember, if you didn't know how to play sports, our peers were brutal. They would tease you because they considered you to be a nerd. So what I remember when I was trying to teach him how to play basketball, he started crying. And I had to make a decision. Should I push him or should I just let it go? I let it go. But my son ended up being a very good student. In fact, he got an academic scholarship to Truman State. Very smart young man. And I pushed academics to my children, my two daughters and my son, and they would tell you, academics was very important in our household. In fact, all three of them got academic scholarships. Now, my youngest daughter, she played volleyball and she ran track. But there was balance. She understood that her grades had to be good for her to participate in volleyball and track. And she proved that you can do both. She made the National Honor Society at high school, and she got a full academic scholarship to Trinity College. In fact, she just graduated with her PhD or her doctorate degree. So my point, my brothers and sisters, we can do it. And ain't nothing wrong if some of our young men aspire to play in the NFL or the NBA, or our young ladies now can go to the WNBA. But we can also go to law school. We can go to medical school. But we got to put in the work. And let me say this. You know why a lot of our young men do so well in basketball? They play it pretty much year round. You familiar with AAU? During the summer, and then September, they're playing. Then practice start October. And they play basketball all the way up until February, March, if their team makes the state playoffs. And then guess what? Around March, April, May, AAU basketball. So think about this. If you put a lot of emphasis on a specific thing, you would do well. So I believe if our children put emphasis on academics, going to the library, studying, reading books year-round, we will see more of them go to law school and medical school. But one of the things we have to do, we have to fix our schools. We have to put our children in a position to go to law school and medical school. And the way we do it, we give them the tools. We make sure that we have some chemistry teachers and biology teachers in elementary and middle school, and of course high school, having all the equipment that they need to be successful. So when they apply to college and medical school, they have the pedigree and they have a good chance of being accepted. So again, the reason why a lot of our young men want to play sports, because they see the NBA and the NFL on TV. And I got to give it to the NBA. They have a very good marketing strategy where our young men see the Steph Currys and the LeBron Jameses on television. So why wouldn't they want to one day aspire to be in the NBA? They see them. Now what's interesting, I remember a drama on television, and it was about a urban hospital in the inner city. They had black doctors, City of Angels. I don't know if any of you all saw it. I loved the show because I had never seen anything like that on television, where they had Blair Underwood play the surgeon. I loved it. And I wonder how many of us actually watched the show. And guess what? The show only lasted a few seasons. That show should have been on at least 10 years if we would have watched it. And just imagine if our children had watched it, seeing these black doctors doing their thing. How many of them would have been inspired, just like Different World, to go to medical school? My brothers and sisters, we play a role in this as well. And that's a beautiful thing, to become a doctor and a lawyer. And it is doable. Now, I will agree with Charles Barkley. You have a better chance of being a doctor and a lawyer versus going into the NBA because there's not that many jobs. And the competition is fierce because the NBA not only recruits players in the United States, the NBA is global. So that means you have fewer opportunities to make it to the league. But we do have a better chance to go to law school and medical school, but we got to put in the work. It ain't going to be easy, but we have proven that we can do it with hard work. So listen, I just want to put that out there. We can go to law school. We can go to medical school. But we have to put an emphasis on academics. And parents, that starts early. From the time our children begin to talk and they start learning different things, we need to be pushing academics. I remember I bought a picture. I saw it at the mall. It was called Justification for Higher Education. And in the picture, it had a very nice house. Looked like a mansion. And at the bottom, it had a carport with different luxury cars. And the caption said, Justification for Higher Education. And I was like, man, I got to get this picture for my kids. And not that I wanted them to aspire to get a mansion and have these luxury cars, but I want them to understand if you go to school and finish, you can have the finer things in life. Does that mean you're going to get a mansion? Does that mean you're going to have a Lamborghini and another luxury car in your garage? No. But you can be self-sufficient, independent, and live a life of luxury. Because of your education, you can travel, you can have nice things. But we got to push academics. So listen, my brothers and sisters, I believe we can do it. We just have to push academics. And if they want to play sports, they can do that too. It's called balance. We can do both. So listen, again, please subscribe to the channel, Truth Talk, Minister JR. And please, my brothers and sisters, leave a comment at the bottom. I want to know what you think. I really do. Because I'm interested in having a dialogue. I'm interested in talking about information that will be beneficial to our community. And please share the video. I'm trying to build this channel. But in order for me to build it, I need as many of you all to subscribe to the channel. And guess what? It don't cost you a dime to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. And also, again, please don't forget about my wife and I's channel, Legacy by Reading. There are some very thought-provoking videos on there I think will be beneficial. So I want to go ahead and end with prayer. Again, Father, I thank you for this opportunity to talk about this important topic. I pray that as many people as possible were able to see it. And I pray, God, that we be strategic and encouraging our kids to do well in school academically. Help them understand, Father, that it will pay off in the long run. As I pray in Jesus' name. So listen, I just want to encourage everyone and let you know that our kids can do it. We just have to encourage them. So in the meantime, stay up and stay informed. God bless you.